I'm going to present to you the dissolution of America and the Western world. Congratulations to the communists that were able to subvert this great nation to the point where mothers are sacrificing their young to gain social points from the woke cult.
Okay, so first of all, I will say that the process, the journey is ongoing and probably will be for potentially her entire life. But here's how it started.
Her.
So
Mm.
she was designated, assigned, observed male at birth. And until about 18
You never assign a sex at birth. You can only observe it.
months, didn't really, know too much, just kind of was raising two kids, working full time, not really paying attention to what was going on. And at around 18 months, she started showing signs of like really being interested in things that her sister had and had in her closet, and wanting to play dress up and wanting to put on lip gloss. And when she would see fingernails, she would want her fingernails painted too. And, we thought it was cute. No issue. We had no issue with.
Yes, because that couldn't be because younger siblings look up to their older siblings, could it? Do you think? Do you think that would be a possibility? And you'll note the fact that she's calling him a her, she. She's misgendering this little boy, and it makes it very confusing for those following along. But this is a little boy that she is calling she. So just so you guys are aware.
Her wanting to do those kinds of things. And then around the age of 2, things started to progress at a quicker pace. And so each time that we would go to pick her up from preschool, she was fully outfitted in dresses and jewelry. And so I will say I was super stoked that we had such a wonderful childcare center that she was in, because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender
and frankly, likely encouraged to do so by this woke, ideologically captured child care center that you should be pulling your kids out of immediately if you know this woman and you care about your children. That's just a fact. We'll discuss that momentarily.
and play dress up and do those kinds of things and have access to them. So when I would go to pick her up from preschool, like I said, she would be dripping in, just jewelry and clicky shoes and all kinds of stuff. And getting her to take that off to go home was usually a pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt. I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one's going to misgender me now.
Yes, that's exactly
and
what
so
your
it
2-year-old,
progressed. It
4-year-old
just
daughter
kept
was
moving
thinking.
in that direction,
Right.
with more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be a girl. And we were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah.
I wonder who encouraged
And my
that.
husband and I would be like, we gotta figure this thing out. And so kind of for that final test, my husband decided, you know what, we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to tap into this and see what happens. So he said, I'm going to coach a t-ball team and I want her to be on it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Well, that didn't go over so well. She not only.
Yes, because how she responds to being on a t-ball team is the ultimate test of whether or not she's transgender. These people are so confused. This is possibly a gay child who will grow up to be such, or somebody who's just experimenting, a little child. My little boy told me the other day that he was a dinosaur. Do you think that I told him, hey, go jump off the roof and see whether or not you fly? Because if you do, maybe you're a pterodactyl. Do I let him experiment with that? No, because parents are supposed to lead, not follow their children.
She hated t-ball. She hated the uniform. She hated the hat. We found everything in the trash multiple times. You couldn't get her out the door
That's the
to
ultimate
go play
test.
on Saturday mornings. And so eventually I thought at one point, well, okay, well, what if I let you wear your leggings and a tank top underneath? And we can, as soon as the game's over, you can take your uniform off. And she was like, okay. So she wore the headband. She didn't wear the hat. She wore the headband. She wore the clothes underneath her uniform. And she would go to the game and she would stand there. And as soon as it was like, game over, she would rip those clothes, that uniform off and stand and proud in her tank top and her leggings.
Oh,
and
you're
very
such a
shortly
great
after that,
parent.
she told us she was a girl.
Yep.
And we
Yep,
believed
you got to follow because you absolutely have to follow your kids and allow them to lead you around by the nose because they always know what's best. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you want to put your hand in the electrical socket? Do you think that that's a good idea? No, you as the parent have to protect them and prevent them from doing so. I have 3 kids, and to imagine allowing this and allowing them to stay in an ideologically possessed nursery school that is encouraging this, and then to think that my 2-year-old, 4-year-old knows anything about gender, knows anything about being a girl, and to think that it wouldn't be that somebody might have encouraged them to believe this, like maybe this parent, maybe this horrible, horrible woman who is so frankly evil that she is willing to sacrifice her daughter for those social media points and those thumbs up and the clout that she will get. This is what she's getting in exchange for sacrificing her daughter, her son. This is her son, not her daughter. You see, I listen to that stuff and I get so confused. I can't even get the real sex correct. And I don't care if you call it hate speech. I'm not going to call a little boy who you can observe when they are born that they in fact have male genitals, and that makes them male. And there's no organism on earth other than the human being that could screw that up so frequently and often. And it's at the behest likely of China. They have subverted, and Russia, because Yuri Bezmenov was a former KGB agent who discussed at length as how to subvert America, how to confuse people, how to get them basically in a state where they can just be presented ideology that will possess them and tear down this great nation that has provided freedom and opportunity. Why do you think so many people dream of coming to America even today, even with people like this woman? Should I feel sorry for her? I don't know. You guys tell me. I feel bad for the kid, that's for sure. Whether or not I feel sorry for her is a different story. I don't think so. I'd like to. I'd like to be a better person, but I frankly think that such parents should have their kids taken away from them because they are literally destroying their lives.